And you know what, that's a little hard to hear coming from a man who celebrated that mean bill's passage at a Rose Garden ceremony, but perhaps he knows that this bill is incredibly unpopular. One analysis found it doesn't enjoy a plurality of support in any state in the country, which is amazing. You can't get all 50 states to agree on anything. You can only get 49 states to admit that Delaware sucks. And the holdout, by the way, Minnesota. They're just too nice to admit the obvious. And it did not get any less tense at their joint press conference, because as you probably know, Trump has been standing by his nonsensical claim that President Obama had him wiretapped. And when a German reporter asked him about that, he tried to pull Merkel into it with him.
As far as wiretapping, I guess, by, this past administration, at least we have something in common, perhaps.
Now, what that very funny joke is referring to is the allegation that the US had monitored Merkel's phone, and she is not amused by that. In fact, that may be the most uncomfortable a US president has ever made her, and I will remind you, George W. Bush once gave her an unsolicited surprise back rub. This year, though, I would argue there was no more spectacular celebration of International Women's Day than in San Antonio, Texas, where one local morning show host really gave it his all.
Today it's International Women's Day, so hey, ladies, don't worry. It's your day. You can do whatever you want. And speaking of doing whatever you want, it's Workout Wednesday. It's time to get that bikini body just in time for summer.
That's right, ladies. You can do whatever you want. Crunches, curls, maybe some light cardio. The point is, keep it tight. It's your day, but keep it tight. But that message got a little muddied this week after we learned something surprising about the carrier group in question.
The USS Carl Vinson was not, in fact, on its way. It was more than 3,000 nautical miles away, traveling in the opposite direction, heading south.
OK, so it was steaming just the wrong way. And it was off the coast of North Korea the same way that New York is off the coast of Portugal. And he wasn't even done talking about whatever the fuck he was talking about.
Because life imitates art, there's a scene in The American President where Michael Douglas, playing the fictional president, is being told that an airstrike against a radar installation is proportional and it's presidential. And he chooses to think about the guy who's coming on the night shift as part of a cleaning crew and how he's going to lose his life in this presidential airstrike. Well, the same thing happened tonight, obviously.
No, it didn't. Because first, this is not a song, it's not a movie. We fired real missiles at an actual country. And also, there is nothing obvious about Trump expressing concern for another human being. I am pretty sure the only time he's ever thought about a cleaning crew has been to say, there's a fingerprint on this vase, don't pay them this week. Because tonight, we have to track the latest developments in what we've been calling Stupid Watergate. A scandal with all the potential ramifications of Watergate, but where everyone involved is stupid and bad at everything. And given the exhausting pace of this week's events, tonight we are simply going to try and answer a few basic questions. What the fuck is going on? How big a deal is this? Where do we go from here? And is this real life? So, let's begin with question one. What the fuck is going on? On Thursday, Trump finally admitted that he had no such tapes and offered up this rationale for his claim.
Well, I didn't tape him. You never know what's happening when you see that the Obama administration, and perhaps longer than that, was doing all of this unmasking and surveillance, and you read all about it, and I've been reading about it for the last couple of months about the seriousness of and horrible situation with surveillance all over the place, and you've been hearing the word unmasking, a word you probably never heard before. So you never know what's out there. But I didn't tape, and I don't have any tape, and I didn't tape.
What the fuck was that? Whenever Trump talks, it's like a cross between a lottery machine that spits out words and a speak and spell that just fell into a toilet.